Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. In creation, during Brahma's day, the three planetary systems, Swarga, Mritya and Patala, revolve, and the inhabitants, including the lower animals, human beings, demigods, pitas, appear and disappear in terms of their fruitive activities. Translation. In each and every change of Manu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears by manifesting His internal potency in different incarnations as Manu and others. Thus He maintains the universe by discovered power. Translation. At the end of the day, who's? Brahma. Under the insignificant portion of the mode of darkness, the powerful manifestation of the universe merges in the darkness of night. By the influence of eternal time, the innumerable living entities remain merged in that dissolution, and everything is silent. Purport. This verse is an explanation of the night of Brahma, which is the effect of the influence of time in touch with an insignificant portion of the modes of material nature in darkness. The dissolution of the three worlds is affected by the interaction of darkness, Rudra, represented by the fire of eternal time, which blazes over the three worlds. These three worlds are known as Bhuva, Bhuva, and Swaha, Patala, Mritya, and Swarga. The innumerable living entities merge into that dissolution, which appears to be the dropping of the curtain of the scene of Supreme Lord's energy, and so everything becomes silent. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Tamo matram upadaya prati samruddha vikramaha kale nanu gata shesha asite tushrim dinat yair. So as we are reading in this particular chapter regarding the time, so from minute to the largest, time being explained in this particular chapter. From micro to the macro. So the smallest duration of time is passing the sun ray to an atom. This is called minutest. That is called atomic time. Called tutti. Maybe some 34,000th part of 1 second. That's tutti. And largest time is Brahma. Brahma's how many years? 311 trillion years. So smallest to the largest duration of time being described. Why is it described? What is the purpose? Why Bhagavatam is talking about this smallest type? Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Sarv Sadhu, Love Matra Sadhu Sangha. The importance of time, even love matra, very smallest time is also very, very meaningful in human life. tulyan lavenapi na swargam na punarbhavam. Bhagavat bhakti sangasya mrityanam kim utasisha. So tulyan lavenapi. Lavenapi means even a fraction of second. Not as turti, even a smallest portion of a time cannot be compared with na swargam na punarbhavam. To going to the swarga, and even for mukti, to whom what that tulyanapi? Bhagavad bhakti sangasya. Association of a pure devotee, even a fraction of time, cannot be compared. Na swargam na punarbhavam. Mrityanam kim utasisa. Then what to speak of any material benefit, which is bound to be disappear or vanish for some time. For little time is only visible. So that small time is mentioned. What is the value of time? Even the gopis, when they used to blink the eyes, that's called lava also, and whatever you call out, they were cursing to Brahma. What kind of this creator is he? Do not know. He made this eyelids. So when fraction of second, they were not able to see the beautiful form of Syam Sundara, Krishna. And that's the smallest time. Okay. Why the macro level is given? Discuss. So macro level is given. It is explained in the second canto, the first chapter, text number 12. Any huge amount of time, any duration of life, if it is not used to service to Krishna, is useless. Kim paramattasya bahuvi parokshir hayanir yaha varam muhurtam vidittam ghatte shreyasi yata. So it says, what is the value of a prolonged life which is wasted, inexperienced by years in this world? Wasted means any work if we do, if it's not dedicated to Krishna. Akrit Vishnu Krityan. That's also mentioned in the 6th canto in Ajamla case. Akrit Vishnu Krityan. The human life is only meant to work for Vishnu. So what is the value of a prolonged life which is wasted, inexperienced by the years in this world? Better a moment of full consciousness, because that gives one is a start in searching after his supreme interest or destination. So even a moment spent serving Krishna is our eternal asset. And spending the huge amount of time in sense gratification is useless, and more so it binds into the material nature, cause for suffering. Now here as we are reading, when Brahma night comes, the pralaya comes, or ansik pralaya is called as partial annihilation. Tamo matram upadaya pratis samruddha vikramaye. So as we have discussed previously, anyway this place is miserable. Dukhalyam ashashitam. And more so when Brahma dies. Brahma sleeps. Tamo matram upadaya prati samruddha vikrame. Then as we know, when he was about to sleep, what happens? Huge Kali Nanu Gati Sesha in the mouth of Anant Shesh. Huge fire comes. For how many years? 36,000 years. And everything get burned. In the planets get burned. Further we'll be seeing that till Swarga everything get burned. Except 2 planets there remains. What is those? Sun and moon. But their glare also get dimmed. They were not started. Now whatever the sun sign and the moon sign comes, it stop coming. And afterwards, huge rainfall happens. So everything get sink, or everything get sink into the water till Swarga. Anyway, more detail we have discussed in the last class. So, can you see somebody is burnt alive? What a painful scenario. Padam padam yatabibdam. So every step in this material world is suffering, one after another. And more so if we engage in sense gratification, is unlimited sufferings are awaiting. Now, even after death, we have to go through a lot of suffering, even in. So the whole purpose of Bhagavatam is to guide us to aloof from sense gratification. Visay Vishama Visatat Khainu. Where the jiva is attracted by foolish sense enjoyment. Now Prabhupada tells about the one. It's not a story. Some one sage was there. Prabhupada mentions some in the Bhagavatam. He had a benediction to live those many kalpas, those many years on this body. One kalpa, 1 year will go. Another kalpa means 1 day of Brahma, huge time. Yes? Romershi. So, he was not having anything. Means a small cottage was not there. He was doing big austerities. So, some of the people, maybe his disciple, thought of, my Guru Maharaj has no hut or no cottage to let us make some, so that now a lot of rain comes, a lot of sunshine comes to protect. So one particular day they all gathered some bamboos and something and start doing something. So that's, he said, what? So this, what happened to you, all of you today? No, Guruji, you don't have that some small this thing said. So we are making some small place where you can practice your this thing. He said, don't waste your time. Anyway, I have to die. This body is useless. One day this body has to die. So don't waste time. Please engage in devotional service. Similarly, when Sanatana Goswami instructed to Raghunath Das Goswami, when he was not having anything. Now that time, Radharani comes and gives the set from the one portion of, last portion of sari. And also when the tiger used to come to drink the water from Manasi Ganga, that time he used to be there and keep chanting. And then backside, once Sanatana Goswami saw Krishna is standing with a stick to protect Raghunath Das Goswami. So he said, why you give trouble to the Radharani or Krishna? You can make a small cottage. So anyway, so there's a different context. So the whole scenario is explained here. Our human life is very, very important, and every moment is unparalleled valuable. So Prabhupada mentioned, by living like many, many years without serving Krishna is useless. There are a lot of trees, they also they maintain themselves, or they live for many, many thousands of years. On the contrary, Prabhupada gives the example of Shankaracharya and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shankaracharya lived only hardly for 32 years. And Lord Chaitanya lived for 48 years. So they lived glorious. So living like a trees has no meaning. Let us live a small or short life, but let us make it meaningful. Nate vidu swart gatem Vishnu. So the whole purpose of our life to understand Krishna and to serve Krishna. But the modern civilization where people are simply engaged in sense gratification. So that's the reason even Shankaracharya says, Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare sayanam. Yah sansare bahu dustare kripya pare pahi murare. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare sayanam. Sayanam means sleeping. Jathare means the womb. Janani means the mother. So life after life, we are just going through into the one after another. Once you die, again you have to take birth in the some womb of some mother. May not be even human being. Not jathare sayanam. Yah sansare bahu dustare. This is that's even Krishna also mentioned. Durattaya, from this material world. Kripya pare pahi murare. Only Krishna can help. So when we take shelter of Krishna, then Krishna can help us to come out. And no other method will work. Because any amount of other yoga, if it is not tinged with bhakti, is useless, which will not take us to the right destination. Even Rup Goswami, he mentioned about the value of time. He says, Abhyartha kalatvam. So he mentioned in this regard, if a person develop little attachment or access towards Krishna, then he develops certain kind of qualities. It says, Chantir abhyartha kalatam viraktir man sunyataha ash bandha samut kantha nam gane sadaruchi asaktis tad gunakhyam प्रीति तद बस्ती स्थाने इत यादयो अनुभावाशुर जात भावानु करे जने. So if one develop little aesthetic feeling attachment towards a Krishna, then chantir means forgiveness. So one of the quality of a devotee is forgiveness. It's very important for a now all the great Acharya, including the Lord Nityananda, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, has exhibited a different pastime. And most of the preachers should always be forgiveness. And abhyartha kalatvam means being free from, means we should value every moment. So human life. The number of breath we have to take is fixed in this life. So every breath is important. So time is, Prabhupada says, time and tide wait for none. So somehow, so we have to reduce our bodily demands. Nidrahar kadi vichito. Nidrahar, bihar kadi vichito. So if we are sleeping, we are wasting time. If we are eating also, whatever Prabhupada says, bare minimum. And one place, one of the lecture we heard, Prabhupada says, we have to make it nil. So Prabhupada, we cannot make it nil. Let's minimize. Now whole modern civilization to make elaborate, gorgeous arrangement for Nidra, Har, Bihar, Kad, or for Ahar, Nidra, Bhai, Midrimcha. Gorgeous arrangement and the whole life they're spending. So even we saw that sage, he wanted to, small cottage they are making, they are saying, why are you wasting time? But here people make their house for collecting whole life. They'll be collecting money to make one small house, and they live hardly for a couple of years. Then man sunyata, absence of false prestige. So that false prestige, because we are always like if we have if we look after the honor, other thing is only madness. The jiva is dependent on Krishna, either in material world or in spiritual world. We have to depend on Krishna. Then as, bandha, the hope, and samut kantam is eagerness. Now lolyam, Rupa Goswami also mentioned in the other place, lolyam. So that eagerness to have Krishna, to serve Krishna, one should be, that eagerness will help. Prabhupada says the eagerness will take you back to Krishna. Krishna bhakti ras bhavata mati kriyetam yadi kutopi labhyate tatra lolyam api mulyam ekalam janma koti sukriter na labhyate. So Krishna bhakti ras bhavata mati. Now we all want to be Krishna conscious. All we want to remember Krishna. No? That's the principle. Padam Puran says, Smartabhyam satatam Vishnu Vishtabhyam na jatu chit sarv vidhi nishedhashur it evana kinkara. So, principle of human life to remember always Krishna, never forget him. It looks like both are same, right? Never Krishna, never forget him. So brothers, no, some do's and some don't. Like we say, we should associate with devotees, and also we say we should not associate with non-devotees. So yes, we should remember Krishna. At the same time, we should do such that we should not indulge in activities which will somehow by which we will forget Krishna. So we all want to be Krishna conscious. So Krishna bhakti ras bhavata mati kriyetam yadi kutobi labhyate. It says wherever is being sold, please go immediately and buy. What is the mulyam ekalam is tatra lolyam. And that eagerness to have Krishna, or the eagerness to follow Krishna consciousness, will not come so easily. Bhogeswar prashaktanam tyaprit chetasam vyosatmaka buddhi samadho na vidiyate. As long as we are attracted by bhoga and aishwarya, or as long as prashaktana, we have a lot of attraction, attachment. So if we have attachment, suppose we do not have, so by seeing others we get bewildered. Na bhogesh prashaktana taya praticheta, we get bewildered. Sometimes we may not have, but seeing other, oh, such a wonderful life it is. Vyosatmaka buddhi samadho na vidyate. So that samadhi means constant thinking of Krishna. Yogi nam api sarvesham mat gaten antaratma siddhavan bhajate yomam. So that mat gaten antaratma. So that constant remembering of Krishna. How we can get the constant remembering of Krishna? By the Lord's mercy, by the mercy of a pure devotee. Janma koti sukrite na labhyate. After doing millions of life, doing the punya, you cannot gather, you cannot achieve, you cannot acquire that lolyam. So by serving pure devotee, it is mentioned in the second chapter of first chapter. By serving pure devotee, we'll able to get. So that's the reason we see in the Prabhupada's life. When Prabhupada went to the America, a lot of young boys and girls, many hippies, uh, the Christian priest used to say, these are our churches. Prabhupada bought many churches and converted the temple. So Prabhupada said, these are our boys and girls. They never used to come to the church. Now they are living in the church. So Prabhupada changed the church to the temple, and they used to say, they never care for the God. Now they are made after God. What Swamiji have done? How they got addicted towards Krishna. So that attraction towards the Krishna will come by serving the pure devotee. So when we serve Srila Prabhupada, without our exterior motive, wholeheartedly, complete depends on his blessings. When we serve him, then automatically our real attachment for Krishna will awaken, and that lolyam will come. That lolyam will help us to aloof from all illusory sense pleasure. So that jnana will change to be jnana only then. Urdhamulam adhasakam. Urdhamulam adhasakam prahur aswatham prahur abhayam chandansmi yas parinami yastam ved sabet vit. So the person who knows why to know about this material world, how is God created, what happens, and what is the Krishna Visvarupa. A lot of, if you see Bhagavatam, many places about universal form and many things are discussed. Why it discusses is Yastam Ved Sabedivit. Who knows the Vedas? Who knows this? Aswatham tree. Urdhamulam adhasakam aswatham prahur abhayam chandansmi yassa parinami yastam ved sabedavit. So to know us, we are in the wrong place, we are miserable place. Any amount of adjustment will not help us, and as we like to remain here more, and we try to adjust the things, the nature will not allow. Anyway, we have to die one day, or even one life you cannot be very peaceful. So that's the nature, that's the reason. Even in the beginning, Krishna says to Arjuna, tolerate. Matrispalsas kaunteya sitosha sukh dukkhada agama paino anityas tam titikcha bharata. So somehow we have to tolerate. We have to tolerate our attraction to a sense object as well, and we have to tolerate some dukkha and sukha will come, and we'll happily able to tolerate if we fix our mind in the lotus feet of Krishna. So here we also see there's such a horrible things when burning the whole universe. Jiva get burned, again they merge into the Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, again they come out. This is happening, Punarapi Janmam Punarapi, this is happening continuously. Bhutva Prilate. Or even this life also, we are only trapped by the lot of miseries, some bodily miseries, some bodily disease, some mental disease, some other disease, threefold misery Buddha says. So Adhidevic, Adhibhautikik and Adhyatmic music. They're all we are tolerant with that. Only we can happily can cross over if we completely merge our mind into the Nama Gane Sadaruchi, the holy name of the Lord. So when we fix our mind, the holy name of the Lord, because fixing our mind on lotus feet of Krishna is same as fixing our mind into the holy name. So by doing this activity, we will not able to feel the uh, the pain of this material world. So here we'll be seeing further um, how this more creation and the time. So the purpose of giving Bhagavatam so that we can value the time and use our every moment time into service to Krishna and minimize as much as possible our bodily sense gratification demands, even though it requires some amount of Prabhupada says gratification to maintain the body and soul together. But gradually, slowly, we have to minimize. But we must know we are not this body. Body anyway is useless. End of the day, is a three destination: either it burnt, it become ashes, eaten by the some animals, it become a stool, or it is put inside the earth, it become a earth. So that's the ultimate destination of this body. So we should not be too much concerned about. But anyway, the body of a devotee is meaningful. But Prabhupada is still we should not be too much attached to the body. So attachment to too much body will again lead to again we have to come back to this material world. So I will stop here unless there is any question. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गो प्रेम नंदे हरि हरि बोल।